Hello, and welcome back to Zarnot Gaming. Today we are going to be taking a look at Mortarion, and we're going to be talking a little bit about his mechanics and doing a boss fight against him. So I just finished wrapping just like a couple of things. Like make sure I don't cap on my energy while I'm doing this. And alright, anyways. So we're going to be taking a look at Mortarion, the Death Lord, Primarch of the Nurgly dudes, if I understand correctly. Some things that are really important to know about Mortarion is that this is his melee death aura, and it's about doing damage to the maximum health. This is the number one thing I see people every season complain about. Like, I just rushed Common 2 Mortarion, and he wiped my whole team on the fourth turn. Well, that's because he's doing 7 hits of 15 to 20% of the unit's max health. It's just untenable. So, you have to take care of Corrodius to bring down the host of plagues by 90% and reduce his armor. And you need to take care of Rotbone to bring the Arch Contaminator hits down. And then both of these also reduce his revoltingly resilient trait. So anyways, host of plagues, he's going to have a 10% chance of turning non-mechanical units that die into poxwalkers. You're going to do less hit damage after 50 hits, cutting in half each time. 50% after 3 hits, sorry. Plague Wind does more damage the further out it goes, so you want your units to be spread out and not adjacent. And the Lantern is not only going to hit 3x3 Hex, but it's going to suppress reducing movement and damage done. And then he's going to use a Scythe, which is like 7 hits times 1,000 damage, which is kind of a lot. But anyways, that's what we're talking about. Mortarion, let's jump right in. I took his cap like 20 minutes ago, so got to get going anyways. And I have not fought this boss at all on this season, so wasn't exactly sure what this map looks like. But we see it now. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump in. So the first turn, Mortarion is always going to use his Lantern, assuming he can target 3 units with it. The number one thing I want to do is I want to suck him into an Overwatch, and I want him to be, in range of Eldrion's thing here. So, like, not a big deal. It's just, that's nice. And then we can sidestep. We have enough movement on all these units. We're going to take the hit with Archimados, and that's okay. But we make sure we get Doom up first. You can see each Bloodletter gets 2 hits, and that's because of Eldrion's, or that's because of him being a Psyker. And we spread our units out. He just absolutely nails, absolutely nails all of the Bloodletters, but that creates a situation where we can pull these guys in, and yeah. So he's always going to use the Scythe on the second turn. You just saw that he did that, nailed a bunch of units. And then, unfortunately, 3 of my Cadian Guardsmen spawned in melee to him. That's what we call some bad luck. But we're keeping our high ground here. We're going to sacrifice Archimedos and go, and he's going to use his lantern again because we were, put our units together. And so now he should go ahead and scythe right there. Yep. Staying 2 tiles away from my high ground Archimedos. And now with only 2 rounds left, because Yorick is resilient, he'll survive. So he can actually go for the higher damage in melee. So we continue to spread out and use our attacks. It's a really big boss, so. And yeah, I don't know, he's a really tough boss. He's really tanky. He has really high armor. And as you can see, this isn't necessarily the most ideal run. But you get to see a little bit of all of his attacks there. You saw that no Poxwalkers were created. That's because of this 30% reduction from every stage of Corrodius here. So only had 10%, even though he killed plenty of Humies. Yeah, I don't know. That's just a look at this season's L2. I might make a different video later. We'll see. But just talking about the mechanics and being aware. Anyways, hope that helps. Anyone wondering what's going on there? I guess if I was to say anything really specific, it's just to know the way he's going to move early on. I do think that you can make definitely some different team moves here depending on what heroes you have developed. If I had an Aeon properly developed, I'd probably be going for Tancadians for sure over Rivas or something like that. But that's okay. I think in retrospect, there's enough people here for the 3x3 that he's gonna target the most number of people. And I can use this now actually. And see, he targeted 4 still, but now this time he started. I don't know, that worked out a little bit differently. He's not in range of this high ground tile now, but he Archimedos doesn't have to soak a lantern shot this time, so that's nice. But I don't know what this scythe is gonna hit, or his plague wind. Plague wind is what he does on that turn. So yeah, I don't know. Now you can pin him in, I guess. He hits so dang hard. There's a little bit more range that time. That's nice. So I want the scythe hit to go right here because Rivas can take the scythe hit. Oh no, he lanterns again. Perfect though, he didn't move. And move your arc in for higher damage. I don't know if Rivas can take a plague wind. Let's take a look here. Not plague wind, lantern. Sorry, I was struggle with his abilities. 30% pierce. We have 821 armor. 2,000 shot. No, you're gonna die. So I guess I have to step out of that. And I mean, you'd see just the difference of the Cadians just staying alive this time. That's really the only difference that's been made. And I'm already above my last time's damage. But again, and Plague Wind, dead. Heard that. Be nice if I could get some sort of high ground hit on him, but you can't. So I don't know, there's a 200k run. That's better than my first run. But it's just there's so much RNG involved with this guy's AoEs and stuff like that. So he's a really cool boss, a lot of fun. Patrol Nexus, we didn't want to put out any videos right away, but we're like 3 seasons in right now. So I thought I'd just go ahead and talk about the mechanics. On our next cycle, I'll try and get out a Noxious Rotbone and a Corodius video and talk a little bit about those mechanics as well. As as always, I talk about like the order the boss tends to take his moves in and all that. So yeah, anyways, I hope that's helpful for everyone out there looking. And there you go. Happy hunting.